everybody. Welcome to the Information of World Icon in the first edition of this program called Green World. Today's program will be talking about the types of energy in physics, especially aeolic energy. Let's remember that physics is a science that studies the matter in energy by its extrinsic behavior. First of all, we will explain the four interactions of energy, from the weakest to the strongest.
The gravity is the force that attracts objects towards one another, the force that makes the things fall for the ground. The weak nuclear force is involved in radioactive decay, which plays an essential role in nuclear fission. Electromagnetic force is the interaction of electric currents of fields and magnetic fields. The strong nuclear force is the strongest one. It holds protons and neutrons inside an atom together within an extremely short range of 10 to 15 meters.
All of these forces are really useful in different situations, because with these concepts we can understand different situations of the universe. Now, there are different types of energy, but let's see which are the ones people know best with these short interviews. Well, here we are in school and we're going to ask about the types of energy. Hello? Well, what type of energies do you know?
We learned about gravitational energy.
Thank you, sweetheart. Hey! Hello, what type of energy do you know?
Last class I explained nuclear energy.
Okay, thank you. Hello, what type of energy do you know?
Well, the most common, solar energy.
Those are some valid answers, but there are actually 11 different types of energy, which are solar, aeolic, hydraulic, thermal, nuclear, carbon electrical, mechanical energy, potential energy, gravitational, elastic, kinetic energy. As we said earlier, we will focus in the aeolic energy, which is strong giant windmills.
Since you will know already, the wind power is one of the most important renewable energies that exist at present time. In turn, one of the most used. For it, we recommend to you that to listen with attention to the following information of the only form. The wind power has in fact its origin in the sun, which produces the wind. In turn, the energy of the wind is received by the wind turbines. The wind takes place for the difference of existing temperature in the different layers of air of the ambience. These air masses to different temperature generate pressure differences. The air moves from the places where a major pressure exists to the places where the pressure is less. And it's this movement the one that produces the wind. The wind in its trajectory moves the space of the wind turbines, which are having turn, move a generator that turns this movement into electric power. This type of energy generates electricity across the force of the wind by means of the use of the kinetic energy produced by effect of the air currents. It is a question of a clean and inexhaustible energy source, which reduces the consumption of fossil fuels, avoiding the greenhouse effect gas emission and helping to mitigate the global warming.
The solar radiation, which penetrates of irregular form in the ambience, gives place to the air with different temperatures that also they possess different techniques and pressure. The condensed air that moves from the high homes towards the low pressures beneath the wind thanks to the wind turbines, which reach 50 meters high with hélices of up to 23 meters long. This is obtained. The force of the wind, it moves the hélices of the wind turbine that, thanks to a rotor of generator, turns the force of the wind into electric power.
Some of the advantages that the fact that the wind power generates wealth and employment. It don't produce poisonous substances. don't contaminate the air, and contributes to the sustainable development. What has allowed its use to be more and more widespread and better valued by the scientific community, which sees in renewable energy source a big alternative for the developing countries and for the rural sector.
The development of technologies, the evolution in design of the devices, and the starting of new wind parks will allow these energy sources to keep growing in the next years. According to the forecast of the World Council of Wind Power, GWEZ, of installations in English, in 2030, the installed potency will reach 800,000 megawatts, the double of the current one, with which it will possible to give up to the 20% of the world electricity.
Now let's go to a few short sales. We come back.
Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you? Yes. Cool. You okay with this? Yes. And this? Yes. And what about this? Gotcha there, Thirst. That wasn't sound effects. That was a Coke. I'm no longer thirsty. You're so out of here. Coca-Cola. Open happiness. Hey, Thirst.
Here we are. Now let's continue. It's time of the curious information. One knows about the existence of the first windmills to the surrounding of the 5th century in Eastern Afghanistan. They were talking each other of the few mills with vertical axes and 8 sails realized with different textiles that were used to grind grain or to extract water of the wheels.
In Europe, they were not used up to good broad in the 12th century. Its use being located both in France and England. With the first industrial revolution and the appearance of the machine to steam, the use of the wine malt date stopped being profitable. Now the grinding process was becoming faster and more mechanical.
In 1888 is believed the first wind turbine capable of generating electricity. This fact opened the whole field for the investigation giving place in Denmark in 1890, with the putting in functioning of the first machine created especially to generate electricity, making use of the force of the wind.
The wind turbines that exist in the sea, it will provoke an impact in the feedback of the hurricane, disqualifying balance and doing that it loses force, this atmospheric phenomenon. For a moment, it was struck that the moment when hurricane was coming out to these waters, it might finish with these facilities, but they might bear the force of the step on the hurricane, whenever it is of category 2 and 3.
Denmark is already not only known by its glamorous serenita or the games of layperson. Nowadays, it is a whole morality in sustainability and energy efficiency. The Scandinavian country takes more than 30 years working so that its economy and social development does not depend on the traditional energies, and of course, so that the future generations enjoy the environment as they are deserved. The result, pioneering project as middle grounded the Marine Wind Park more brand of the world opposite to Copenhagen.
And now we have an interview.
Today we have a special guest. His name is Mario, and he is going to answer some questions about aeolic energy. Welcome. First, what is windmills? How does they work?
The visible parts of a wind turbine are the gondola casing that protects the internal mechanism and the space of the rotor that they can have out to 20 meters long, in addition to the long mast that supports the wind turbine. But later we find several elements that enter again and that cannot already be perceived by simple sight. First of all, we can find the physical X-box that joins the space with an axis of log speed, which movement does not overcome 30 revolutions per minute. That in turn is connected to a multiplier. This is what allows, although we see the space of the mill do not move at big speed, and having passed through the multiplier, this one has the significantly of the axis of high speed.
What is wind potential?
At this point, you will wonder what real capacity a wind turbine has of absorbing the energy of the wind. This is what is named the wind potential and is determined by variables as the thickness of potency, which is the distribution of wind power at different speeds of the wind, the curve of potency, and which indicates the electrical potency obtained for every speed of the wind, or the so-called distribution variable, which determines the probability that exists throughout one year in a concrete area of which a wind blows at the speed or other one.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure that was accompanying us during this day to inform us about the topic. We are grateful with the partners of the cabin for obtaining all this and hope that it should have seemed interesting to you.
Well, our time is now over, but we can't wait to meet again on the next episode of Green World, where we will be discussing a few things about the universe. Remember that if you or someone you know is an expert on this topic, you can contact us and be invited to the next program.
Communicators talk with us across our telephone lines available on Facebook.
Have a great week, and we hope you have enjoyed this time. Bye!